Hello guys, I'm Fizzy and welcome to a bit of a car testing video on F1 2015, where I'll be doing a hot lap in all of the 10 cars on the game around Austria for this video, to see how they compare in both overall lap time and straight line speed, and in turn see how Codemasters have recreated the car performance of the 2015 cars on this game. I did do a couple of videos like this at the start of F1 2014 as well, and people seem to find it interesting, so I thought why not do it on this game as well. So here we are. Basically, I went into time trial mode, first of all in the Mercedes, just to get a feel for the handling and the track, but then I went and did about 5 laps in each of the 10 cars, basically until I got a lap that I was happy with and felt was representative of that car's pace. And obviously the best lap from each car's run is what you will be seeing in this video. So all the laps are driven without any driving assists, using the default car setup, so basically every setting in the middle of the slider. And at the end of the video I will include an overview of all cars' lap times, including their top speeds reached on the back straight, and I will also add my general thoughts on the comparisons at the end of the video as well. So in the video description you can also find time frame links that can be clicked to jump to the lap of a specific car, so if you come here only to watch the lap of the Red Bull for example, for some reason, then you can go and do that. But yeah, that's enough talking for now, so let's crack on with the laps, starting with the car that has set the slowest lap time in and moving our way gradually up to the fastest. So there we go then, that was a lap in each of the 2015 cars around Austria, and here we have an overview showing the times of the cars from fastest to slowest, and on the right there as well the speeds that were achieved in each car just before the 100-meter board on the back straight with DRS. Quite interesting really, especially when you look at the times in relation to the top speeds, and I'm gonna give some quick thoughts on each of the car, starting from the bottom with the Manor Marussia, which as you'd expect is absolutely dogshit. It really is the worst car by far in every department, except actually the top speed. McLaren was marginally slower on the straight with that Honda engine, but in comparison to the other cars, the Manor just really handles like a bus. It's poor on traction, not very responsive, and it all just adds up to be the slowest package of the bunch by quite a distance, over a second slower than the McLaren around here, and also nearly 4 seconds slower than a Mercedes. And then we got the McLaren Honda, and you can see on the top speeds there the slowest out of everyone, so that Honda engine really is holding the McLaren back. The McLaren really is slow and straight, but it does have pretty decent handling, which makes up for it compared to the Manor at least, but it really is let down by the engine at the moment, and clearly the second worst car as it stands. And next up, from 8th up to 6th, we got the Toro Rosso, the Lotus and the Sauber, which were extremely closely matched on the lap times as you can see, all of those three in the 109.6s. The Sauber and the Lotus with exactly the same top speed as well, and that is where they are getting that slight edge on Toro Rosso, which reached 3 km/h less. So the Renault engine holding the Toro Rosso back, but it did feel a little bit better in terms of handling compared to the Sauber and the Lotus. So those three cars, at least on this track, seem to be pretty much evenly matched, with the Force India there in 5th having a slight edge on all three of them, 0.3 of a second faster on the lap time and also slightly higher top speed. But I have to say the Force India did actually feel quite understeery when I drove it, and it didn't feel like it really handled that great, so that top speed is really helping that out at least. And then in 4th place the Red Bull, which was really good to handle, but look at that top speed. You can see why Christian Horner and the Red Bull folks are complaining about Renault if these numbers are in any way representative of real life, as the Red Bull here is the 3rd slowest car on the straight, even slower than Toro Rosso, but still managed to set the 4th fastest time with a 0.5 of a second margin to the Force India, and that comes fully down to the handling, making up for some of that lost time on the straight. The Red Bull really does feel amazing to drive. I would even say possibly even on par with the Mercedes in terms of the handling of the car, but obviously held back massively on the straight line speed. And then another 0.5 of a second jump up to the Ferrari and the Williams. I was a little bit surprised actually to see the Williams above the Ferrari here, and that could potentially be down to me nailing the Williams lap slightly more than I nailed the Ferrari lap. But I did actually go back to the Ferrari after I did some laps in the Williams just to see if I could improve on the Williams lap with the Ferrari, and I just wasn't able to pull it together, so maybe the Williams just suits the Austrian track a bit more than the Ferrari, or maybe it just suits my driving style a bit more, but the Williams, for me at least around here, was the 2nd fastest car, and slightly faster than the Ferrari on the top speed as well. And a little bit of a surprise maybe that Williams and Ferrari were actually both slightly faster than the Mercedes on the straight, but the Mercedes still clearly the fastest car by just under 0.5 of a second compared to the Williams, and the Mercedes really, just like in real life, is just a complete package as far as the car is concerned. It's got good straight line speed, handles like a dream, good in the traction zones and also very grippy. And that is obviously where it gains that advantage on the Williams and the Ferrari. So yeah, there you have it. Obviously the Austrian track probably suiting some cars more than others. It is a track where straight line speed and high speed handling is key for a good lap time. So maybe I'll do some more comparisons around other tracks in the future, tracks with slightly different characteristics, to see if the order is in any way changed. But this at least gives a general idea of how good the cars are in relation to each other and the strengths and weaknesses of each car. So I hope you found it interesting and possibly even a little helpful, and if you did then please leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more F1 2015 content from me in the future. But for now, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.